Hi, my name is Grace St. Jakes, and I am taking Communications and Society Online. And for week 3, the discussion question is, which of the 5 conflict styles do you identify with the most and why? And for the second question, it is, has the style you identify with been a help or a hindrance in your conflict management? And I would say it took me a little bit to figure it out, but I would say that I most identify with the compromising style of the 5 different conflict styles, because when I was examining this week's reading and trying to figure out which one I identify with the most, it was stating in the reading that the compromising style shows a moderate concern for self and others and may indicate that there is a low investment in the conflict and/or relationship. Even though we often hear that the best way to handle a conflict is to compromise, the compromising style is not a win-win situation. It is a partial win/lose. And I would say that was probably the most hardest part for me and stuff, as in the past, I have not been good with compromising at all, and it has been something that I've learned recently in the past 1 or 2 years, and ever since then it's been my go-to in every type of conflict I'm in, and it really has helped me out for the most part. But I was not always identifying with the compromising style of conflict, and I was always wanting to, up the other person and win the conflicts and everything, but then I realized that that's not the best way to go about it. I was in a past relationship and stuff where communication and compromising never happened, and in my family it was the same thing, and we never really compromised on literally anything. So I was never able to really understand that. But when I got in my current relationship a few years ago and stuff, there was a lot of compromising that had to happen, and a lot of different conflicts and traumas going on. So it was really hard for me and everything to learn, but I was finally able to grasp what having healthy communication in a conflict was like, and overall, with all the compromising I had to do in my current relationship, it really helped me grow that aspect of myself. And now I just feel like the compromising style of communication is extremely helpful and the most beneficial to me. If the conflict is just ongoing, or nobody's agreeing with each other, or we're just bickering nonstop back and forth, it has been a really hard thing for me to learn, but it's been really humbling for me and made me rethink how I acted in past conflicts and stuff, and has just given me a better perspective on how to deal with these conflicts. And I wouldn't say that you need to identify with this conflict or style the most, but I would truly recommend learning to identify and understand not really learning to identify, but just learning to understand what the compromising style is. Just in certain situations, it can really help you out if nothing else is solving the conflict. And it's truly saved me in so many conversations, not even just in my relationship, just with people I'm talking to, my friends, family, classmates, professors. If there's any conflict going on, it really helps. It really does, I swear. So, thank you so much for listening.